Hi, I'm Mary and welcome to my channel. And today I thought we would do something just a little bit differently. I've been sending greeting cards to friends and family pretty much all of my life. In fact, when I was a kid, I remember going door to door selling assortment boxes of my cards to my neighbors to try to earn a little money. Now, granted, they weren't the best cards in the world, but it got me started, and I've been making cards ever since. Most of us know that greeting cards aren't sent that much anymore, so they become even more precious. But I still love sending them. My husband and I, we make a lot of cards together. I guess I do most of the design work and he helps me to assemble them, especially when we're going to do a large batch like for Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or Valentine's Day. But today what I wanted to share with you is some cards that I made for my parents many years ago. My mom had saved them for me, which I am so grateful, and so that will enable me to show them to you today. Now, they're not like today's cards. They're more, I guess, maybe a little more old-fashioned. And I had very simple supplies then. I had just had pens and paper and glue, and I guess I used stickers and photographs. But I'm going to just take you on a little tour of the cards that she saved for me. The first cards that I'd like to share with you are cards that we made using photographs on the front. So I've got several examples of those to show you. My husband liked to do photography, and we lived in Alaska and we lived in New Hampshire at the time. So we had some beautiful, well, I guess we also lived in Omaha at the time. We've lived in a lot of different places. So this was a birthday card that I made for my mom, and this is a picture of downtown Omaha. And I just combined with it, I learned to do calligraphy when we lived in Alaska in the 80s. So I used my calligraphy skills and then also the photograph that my husband had taken, and just cut out with pinking shears. Very, very simple. See, the inside just has little words and phrases and some old-fashioned stickers that my mom would have really liked. So that's one. And here's a picture. This almost looks like fireweed from Alaska, but I'm reading on it that it's when my sister lived in New York, that my husband had taken a picture of these beautiful wildflowers. So this was for my dad. I think it was for Father's Day. And what an easy card, just putting words around the picture. And that's one of my trademarks for my greeting cards, is I love to put words around the feature, whatever it is, on the front. I don't always do it, but it does add a nice frame around it, and I think it's also nice for the recipient to read special personal things. So that just has a nice note to my dad. And then this is called Arctic Valley, Alaska. So this would be another picture my husband took when we lived in Alaska. Remember back when we would get all of our pictures printed? Yes, it was way back then in 1986. That was a birthday card for my dad. And just a couple more that are from photographs. This is a picture of a bleeding heart that was, I think, it was taken in our backyard when we lived in New Hampshire. And it's a birthday card from my dad. And again, I tried to use my lettering skills and writing some nice things to him. Oh, and also I had these little corners that you would put on photos in a scrapbook that I incorporated on the greeting card. And I think I used a calligraphy marker to make this frame around it. And the inside just has some nice things that we wrote and some old-fashioned stickers. And just going to show you this one. This picture was taken in Boston. We lived in New Hampshire, and so Boston was just about an hour away. And this is Faneuil Marketplace in Boston. And I turned it into a birthday card for my mom. And, oh, I see, I punched hearts on here, and then I put red paper on the back. It's kind of cute. And the inside is just, again, stickers and nice things that we wrote to my mom for her birthday. And this is the last one that is, I'm going to show you, that's made from a photograph. What I want to show you is there's just so many ways to make cards, and sometimes it can be easy as putting a nice photograph on the front. So on this card, this is a picture of Wells Beach in New Hampshire, and that was just a little ways away from where we lived. And so I turned this into a birthday card using my calligraphy skills. Nothing fancy. The inside is just simple. So let's move on to some other kinds of cards that I made. This one is probably one of the most easy. Just one of those paper doilies, those white paper doilies that I put on some different shades of pink paper and some ribbon that I had and store-bought stickers. This was probably a Valentine. Yep, it was a Valentine to my parents in 1992. And let's see. Oh, this was a Father's Day card to my dad. And this one, I did want to tell you about this. I used stamps that I had made from erasers for this. So this is a swan and trees, and I had made these stamps from erasers. When we lived in Alaska, we lived up there for nearly 6 years, and I belonged to a group of calligraphers, and we enjoyed getting together like maybe once a month, and we made things other than just writing calligraphy. One of the things was we carved our own stamps from erasers. So let me show you. I still have that stamp. Can you see that? This little swan. So this goes back to the 80s, and this would still stamp perfectly today. The eraser is still very soft and pliable. It's just one of those nice white erasers. And then I also wanted to show you trees. So I've made a bunch of trees. I use them a lot for Christmas, but I think in this card I probably used this one right here. And that's a bigger one. I've got a bunch of trees that I made. But I just wanted to show you that back then I had to be pretty resourceful. And I think that I had like some, I think what I had, oh, I know what it was embossing powder. So I stamped it, and then I put sort of a metallic embossing powder. This is like copper, and this is kind of like a bluish, opalish looking that I would put on, and then I think I would dry it with a dryer maybe, and it turned like that. So this is one of my favorite cards. And let's see, what's next? Oh, I like this card. This was an anniversary card that I made to my parents. And again, I was just using the lettering skills that I had and store-bought stickers and my pinking shears. And these are just little dots of glitter. I love glitter. I don't love it when it falls off a card, but I love the sparkle. And then I also like to make little curlicue frames around. So that was pretty. Here's a stamp, or not a stamp, but here's a card I made for my dad. And this particular card, I got this little fish stamp, these fish stamps. When we lived in New Hampshire and traveled to Boston, there was a little stamp shop there called Inka Dinka Doo. And I got these stamps from there. I didn't make them. And so I tried to make my dad an underwater scene. Just simple construction paper cut, you know, to look like grasses and rocks down there. But I'm pretty sure my dad liked that. And then these are the little bubbles from the fish with glitter. So, oh, and I guess I put some more of the fish on the inside. Let's see. Oh, here's a card. This one, I was really into stickers. Well, I've been into stickers for a long time, and now I make my own stickers. But here, I had bought these stickers. This was a birthday card for my dad, and I absolutely loved these stickers. My dad was into building things, and he was like a carpenter. He would fix things and build things and make things nice at our house. So I thought that he would absolutely love these stickers. And then I used my lettering, and then I put little pink dots around it, wrote about my dad, and happy birthday. And let me show you, this is one of my most favorite cards I ever made. It's really pretty simple, but the reason I like it is I don't know, it looks so classic, and it almost looks like it's on watercolor paper, but back then I knew nothing about doing watercolor. So I think it was just some nice cardstock that I had gotten. And so I cut 2 pieces out and punched holes at the end and tied them together with ribbons. I think that's one of the things I like so much about this card, that it's a different size and a different, it's more narrow than you see most cards today. I used a store-bought sticker for that and different colors of calligraphy pen. Anyhow, I think that this is one of my favorite cards I ever made. And let's see, maybe just a couple more to show you. This one, well, let's see, this was it was a Mother's Day card. So this, again, I used my writing skills, my lettering skills, and then I've made tons of little hearts from eraser stamps. And I'm looking here to see, here's one of them, but I've made so many. This isn't the one I used on here. This is a tiny little stamp. But what I would do, which I think looks pretty awesome, is I would stamp it put it in the stamping pad, and then I would stamp like 3 more times so that the color would fade. And then I would stamp it again into the stamping pad and again until the color would fade. And I thought it actually gives it kind of like a watercolor look. And then I added a little dot of glitter inside the heart. But most of this card is about the writing that I did on it. In the inside, I put a picture. And I think the last couple ones I want to show you, let's see. This was a card. Oh, I wanted to tell you about this. This card has lace on it, and I used to make a lot of things with lace. I made many curtains. I decorated lace on garments that I sewed. I did a lot of tablecloths. But one day, and I think this was when we lived in Texas back in the 70s, I went to a store, and I don't know if it was Joann's. I don't know if Joann's was a store then or not, but it was a store like Joann's where they sold lace by the yard. And it was on a Saturday, and I went in there, and they were selling lace for a penny a yard, and they had a limit of 100 yards. And so I bought 100 yards of lace. And this was just one of the more simple kinds of lace that I got from there. Some of the lace was as thick as like this. Like, it would cost so much more today. I don't even know. It would cost dollars for a yard. So I really hit the jackpot. And for a long time, I didn't want to use the lace because I didn't want to use it up. But can you imagine? I went in there and I only spent $1 plus tax. And so I used it to decorate a lot of different cards, and it added a nice edge on it. And the inside of this card is some store-bought stationery that I had. So, and then the last card that I wanted to show you is this one. This is another card that I made the eraser stamps, just little tiny flowers, and I made little tiny petals. And I used my calligraphy, and I must have had glitter glue that you could just draw on, because I guess this was their 41st anniversary. And I'm pretty sure that this was this dove was a stamp that I had purchased, maybe from Inkadinkado. But I thought that was very pretty. And then last but not least, I wanted to show you a few more of the stamps I made. And if you'd like, if you comment in the video, put a comment. If you'd like me to show you how to make these stamps, I'll be more than happy to do that. Here's a 2-part stamp. It's an Easter basket with a little bow at the top. So I would stamp it in 2 different colors. And there's a little bunny that goes with it. And let me show you, here's a 2-part rose that I did. And I used this on so many cards and in so many ways. And you can make stamps as simple as like this star. I also made stamps for special milestone birthdays. Like this is a 40 stamp. I think I made this for when my husband turned 40 to stamp on his card. So easy. This is a little house stamp. And I've got a cute little teddy bear stamp. I've got many. Here's a butterfly and a cute little apple. And I made all different kinds of leaves and little flowers. I think this I used as a little red poinsettia on a Christmas card. And then I also had leaves. But it's another thing that you can do that's so fun. And these have lasted for like 40 years. And I don't use them so much anymore, but I could. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that little tour of the greeting cards that my parents had saved for me. And I hope that it inspires you to send something happy and friendly to a friend or a neighbor to cheer them up. And let me show you this one last card. This is a card that I made for my mom and dad for their anniversary. And this is simply cut out from another greeting card. So if you save your greeting cards, you can cut them up and make new greeting cards out of them. It's a very easy way, and it doesn't involve a lot of supplies or anything, but it makes an adorable little card. So thank you so much for watching with me today. I hope that you enjoyed that tour, and I will see you the next time. And if you liked my video and think I earned it, I would really appreciate it if you gave it a like and if you subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.